Good morning, Hacksters! It is time for another Hackster Cafe, my favorite time of the week. And this week we have Phil Nelson, Director of Creative from OpenCV, and Satya Mallick, who is the CEO of OpenCV, here to tell us about what's going on. And there's a lot to update here. So first up, good morning. How's it going?
Good morning, guys. Good morning, everybody.
Yeah, good morning, everybody.
Who's listening and who's going to listen later on.
Yeah.
Hey, everybody. Satya, I think, swallowed a goldfish this morning, so he's got
Pretty
it's
sure
one of those college initiation pranks or something. You know how he is.
That's right. I was potting the whole night, and that's why
He's going hard. I mean, we'll talk about when we were in New Orleans a little bit later.
Recording OpenCV University all night. Are you recording those, or we're going to talk about OpenCV University in a minute? And I'm curious, cool. So let's jump right in. We're partly doing this because we're doing this OpenCV AI competition that is actually about to end. Submissions close, I believe, tomorrow. So that's the 30th at 11:59 p.m. Pacific. So whenever you're watching this, it may or may not be over. But there's some cool stuff. You can still go to the contest page and see the winners in the future. Could you tell us a little bit about the challenge?
A couple people have actually posted their sneak previews of their videos in the discussion as well, if you want to check those out.
Ooh, discussion tab over here.
Yeah.
We're not going to show
very first one. Yeah, there's
nice.
two.
I'm not going to give preference to any of these because it could be a conflict of interest, but lots of cool stuff to check out for those of you who are watching from home. Yeah, so the theme was around all kinds of different stuff. It's very open-ended from what I'm seeing here. Is they've got robotics, agriculture, education, visually impaired assistance, health and medical, all these different options, and you've got some examples of winning submissions from years past as well.
That's right.
Care to tell us about any of these?
Shout out to our friends. They have said Cortic Tigers. That was a really, really fun project. They took Charlie, one of the Lego robotics kits. This was from OpenCV AI Competition 2021, and we sent, with our sponsors paid for us to send, how many Lego kits did I send out, Satya? I don't even remember.
I think 150 or so.
I think it was like 150. Wow. Yeah, I sent 150 Lego kits around the world for free to people, and a bunch of Oak Ds as well, Oak D lights. Was that Oak D light times? To people for free, thanks to our sponsors. It was we got so much interesting stuff, and this was top of the pile in terms of the judging in the end there, which basically they equipped this little Lego robot with all of these AI powers. It's delightful. The team Cortic actually created a whole sort of drag and drop based interface for creating these functions for Charlie as well.
Oop. Somehow we
shout out to Ye and everybody at Cortic. I hope they're doing well. I haven't talked to them in a while. I should send them an email after this.
Yeah. Oh, that's such a cool project. I love companion bots, and we've seen a few different
you don't say.
Yeah, we've seen a few different iterations of CV for yoga pose detection and things like that, which are always really cool to see. But fusing the two together, especially in a cute little Lego carapace, is just wonderful. Love that.
Yes, delightful.
We got this scan Nerf guy with a little lion going on.
Yeah, and so they created a little Nerf scanning system with a turntable. This was it was pretty early days for Nerfs, I would say.
This was
really good fidelity.
It was just
2 years ago.
Rad.
Gaussian splatting was not even a word on people's lips at this time.
Yeah, splatting was not there.
Could you?
And now it's all we can talk about.
Speaking of which, I actually have no clue what Gaussian splatting is. Could you tell us?
Yeah. Satya, you want to take it?
So, my voice is a little bit off, but I'll try. So Nerf is this concept that, when we used to think about 3D, we used to think that, okay, we will take pictures of objects from various positions, and then we will basically get a point cloud, using triangulation. We'll get a point cloud, and then we will render the point cloud and, assign a color to that point cloud. And that's how 3D used to be done. Now, Nerf is a new concept which says that you don't need to do a lot of that. you can use a neural network to encode the 3D data in the neural network. So all you need is you're actually getting the radiance data. So you know what an object looks like from various viewpoints without actually getting the 3D structure. It doesn't explicitly get the 3D structure, but it still knows from a particular viewpoint what does the object look like, even though you did not actually take the picture from that viewpoint. And Gaussian splatting is an even newer concept. NERFs used to be very slow, to train, but Gaussian splatting, using some optimizations, and they figured out that you can do something in fractions of seconds, even seconds, right? That used to be done in minutes or hours, right? So it is a game-changing thing. It is a way to represent 3D data in a very compressed neural network. And you get pretty much all the benefits of 3D, but even the transitions are very smooth and things like that. So it's very high quality 3D data representation using neural networks.
Wow. That is so cool. It reminds me of doing holograms where, with holograms as well, you don't encode the 3D structure in the plate, but you're recording how the laser light bounces off of the object just by
Right.
interference patterns in the chemistry on the plate, which is so cool. And I love that this is kind of almost analogous to that.
Shout out to our friends at Luma Labs. Their app, Luma AI or something like that, is on the App Store. They I think they're doing the best at this. Their stuff's pretty magical in terms of the quality they can get, and you can just use it for free on your phone. It's pretty mind-blowing stuff. Like I said, they're like, people are using these to make commercials and stuff now. Like, it's already pretty mainstreamed in the within the film production community. It's pretty amazing.
Wow. Okay, I'm gonna have so many tabs open after this. I already do. Everyone who's joining us, if you see something cool on here, check out the links in the description below. There's all kinds of stuff. Most of the stuff we're going to be looking at today is already there, but then we've also got plenty of other things. So on the OpenCV main page, one of the main things that you're talking about, we've got this competition, but also keeping OpenCV free. So there's two parts to this. There, of course, maybe more, but first up, we've got OpenCV 5, like what is it, where is it? And then there's the keep OpenCV free. Which one of you like to kick us off with that?
I'd love it if Satya talked a bit about the features first.
Yes. So OpenCV 5, it has been delayed for a long time. And part of the reason is that, we used to have a large team. When I say large, it is not really large, but about 10 people. 5 of those people were from Intel Russia. And as the conflict grew, we lost that team. And so now we have a much smaller team, and we want to release OpenCV 5, which has a bunch of new features. First of all, we want OpenCV to run much better on different processors like ARM. So that's a big one. We want to have all kinds of new features for 3D visualization, as well as 3D processing, right? Point cloud processing and things like that. And so OpenCV 5, and also reduce the size of the library. What has happened over the last many years is that OpenCV library has grown quite a bit, but some of the algorithms are obsolete. So we want to reduce the size of the core library by shrinking it substantially, right? So that the library becomes smaller.
Yeah, and some things that used to be state-of-the-art will no longer be state-of-the-art. Maybe they've been supplanted by better methods, things like that. Some of that stuff will probably end up going to contrib and staying around, but it'll be taken out of the core library. Is that correct?
That's right. So it's not like people will lose access to it or anything like that. They will just need to compile it slightly differently. Right.
Oh, interesting. And people can check out the GitHub for all the good OpenCV goodness. But check it out.
We have a criminally underused GitHub support page as well. Like, you can give us money on GitHub. I think 2 people do it right now. If you scroll down a little, you hit sponsor there. Yeah.
There you go, folks.
Consensually smash that sponsor button, please.
What happens when I hit that? Let's find
It
out.
takes you to a page.
Oh.
Oh, hey, there's 8. Wow, thanks so much to all 8 of you. Like, that is pretty awesome, actually. We really appreciate it.
These people rock.
They have incredible Abbeys as well.
And yeah, you can pick a tier to support at if you're, especially well off, or an organization you could sponsor at $4.99 a month.
And
the introductory price is still there, apparently.
Can I share my screen to show all the new features that we are
planning? Please do.
Yeah, go for it.
Let me share my screen.
Yeah, we did a whole 4-hour-long live stream on an OpenCV campaign launch day. That was super fun. Thanks so much to everybody that watched and participated in that. I expected us to not have enough time, like not have enough people to talk, but we ended up going slightly over, so it was awesome.
Nice.
Are you guys able to see?
Yeah, it looks great.
Okay, so the deep neural network module inside OpenCV, it is very performant, but it needs, because this field is growing so fast that we have to keep up with all the new kinds of architectures, all the new optimizations that are now standard in the field. So we will add new data structures like 0D and 1D tensors for modern deep modules, and we'll add 64-bit integers, booleans, etc. So things will become very fast and easier to implement new kinds of neural networks when these data structures are added. We'll also add, there is a transformer implementation in OpenCV. So transformer is this new kind of neural network architecture, which is supported by OpenCV, but it is not very fast. So we want to make it much faster. And we also want to have support for multimodal models, like the diffusion models you have seen, right? Which you basically type in some text, and
like stable diffusion, etc.
Stable diffusion, yeah. And clip is another one, which is based on natural language processing. So those kinds of support we want to add more. And we want to add state-of-the-art ONNX support. ONNX is this standard format for neural networks, for storing neural networks. And there are standards. So right now, the support for ONNX in OpenCV is okay, but not great. And we want to bring it to pretty high level of ONNX compatibility. So that's something we want to do. And then we also want to accelerate all the image processing. When OpenCV was launched first, it was for video processing. And it doesn't have support for very large images. So we want to make sure that very large images are supported natively in OpenCV. And also the processing needs to be sped up for very large images. So that's coming too.
Yeah, and by very large, what kind of pixel dimensions do you mean?
I mean, I think even 6K by 6K, it may throw an error right now. I don't know the exact number, but even 6K by 6K will throw.
Nice.
And then we, there are these architectures, RISC-V, as well as ARM v8 Plus, which have these vector extensions, right? They actually have very good optimizations if you use their vector engines. And that kind of support also we want to use. And this will directly affect performance on RISC-V and ARM chips for our deep neural networks. A lot of people use OpenCV for traditional tasks like calibration, etc. And OpenCV has been the standard for single camera calibration. But fisheye cameras have become very popular, and we want to add better support for fisheye cameras as well as multi-camera calibration, and also have much better tutorials. Depth cameras, they have been very popular recently, and we want to add much better support for depth cameras. So right now, there are a few cameras from Orbec, which are natively supported by OpenCV. And but general cameras, if you have a 3D camera, in general, you'll have to do other things to capture frames. It's not natively supported from OpenCV, and we want to expand the support for depth cameras and also 3D visualization. HiGui is the library we use for visualization, and we want to add TrueType font support with full Unicode support in OpenCV, which means that you'll be able to render international characters, better 2D and 3D visualization, and improved OpenGL-based visualization. We also want to bring a lot of packages which are not currently directly supported by OpenCV. For example, the Android support, Android package, or the Raspberry Pi and Jetson packages. They are done by other parties. We want to do it. We want to collaborate with them and make it official. And then, as I told you, there's a lot of code refactoring that will happen. The old C API. So OpenCV started as a C library, and then it was converted to C++. But the C API is still there, and that is going away in OpenCV 5. And a lot of obsolete algorithms will be moved to OpenCV Contrib. And of course, we'll have much better tutorials and documentation. And that's it.
Nice. So that's all, everything that's coming in OpenCV 5 and all these excuses for you to support the development of OpenCV. Yes. Now, the first way that we mentioned was going on GitHub and sponsoring there, but there's other ways that people can support as well. how all can people help out?
Yeah, the best way would be right now to go to Indiegogo and support the OpenCV 5 campaign, igg.me/@/OpenCV5. If you refresh that page, you should see someone has a great opportunity to become the 500th backer. If nice. Somebody backs right now and is the 500th backer and sends me an email, I will send them an OpenCV t-shirt absolutely free of charge.
Nice. You got to send a screenshot though.
Yep. Send me a screen. I mean, I can always check it in the back end, but and send me an email. Send me an email, and I will send you an OpenCV t-shirt pretty much anywhere that I'm legally allowed to ship things.
Excellent. And if not, he'll send someone in person.
Yes.
Right?
To rob you and give you a shirt.
Oh, okay. Excellent. So if you're into that, go right ahead. Also, there's
the International Terror Network grows by the day. Wait, sorry, wrong show.
So there's also another giveaway that you mentioned beforehand. You've got some stickers to give away, is that right?
Yes,
Tell
definitely.
us about that.
Yes, so OpenCV has a newsletter. OpenCV has some stickers and merchandise. We don't really have a good way for people to get our merch unless you come see us at shows like CVPR or the PX4 Developer Summit, for example, or if you happen to run into me randomly in the street in San Francisco, I usually have some in my pocket. Also Werther's Originals, because I'm old. Not really. They're Hall's drops. But the first 5 people that watch this and send one email to phil@opencv.org will get one free OpenCV sticker, which I will mail to you. Just send me your address and you'll get a sticker. 5 people.
Oh, yeah. Get into it for those sweet.
We normally give stuff away on our show, OpenCV Live, Thursdays at 9 a.m. And so I thought it would be nice to continue that tradition here on in the friendly confines of the Hackster Cafe.
Yeah. I believe this is I think it might have just updated actually.
That's
could be wrong,
the OG. But... Yeah, if you go, we've got a different YouTube page now actually, which has caused us some issues. I'm going to drop the link here. It's at OpenCV Official.
Oh, okay.
For a while we were sharing a YouTube channel with OpenCV AI. I'll send you the link here. Yeah, that's us.
Smashing that subscribe button.
Thank you. Consensually smash that subscribe button. We were using OpenCV.ai's YouTube channel for a while, which is the consulting for-profit arm of OpenCV. They pay OpenCV basically to use the mark. And we've switched out to our own just because, for various reasons. And so, the most recent episode was... What's that, Steve?
It's cleaner that way, right? So that we don't mix...
Yeah, that makes sense.
We want to make sure the nonprofit and the for-profit, like they're not so conjoined, as it were.
Right. I am curious about that. So we've got OpenCV.ai, and then also Satya, you have BigVision.ai. Yeah. What's the relationship between these? Are they similar? Are they different?
Well, so BigVision is primarily a consulting company, and it does consulting in computer vision and AI. And it is similar to OpenCV.ai in that respect. But BigVision, the relationship with OpenCV is that BigVision produces the courses for OpenCV. In fact, I got associated with OpenCV because I reached out to Gary Bradsky and said that, we do courses. And, I was doing this blog, learnopencv.com, for the longest time. And people were asking us to create courses. So we did create a course way back in 2017 and raised about $100,000. And we delivered the course. And after that, I got thinking that OpenCV doesn't have its own courses, and most of the material that at that time we were doing was based on OpenCV. So we said, okay, why don't I go and talk to Gary and see if we can become the official course creators for OpenCV. So he agreed. There is a good revenue share arrangement between OpenCV and courses, and then we launched a campaign for OpenCV branded courses, and this was the biggest Kickstarter campaign for any technical course ever. We raised nearly $500,000 in that campaign. Yeah. And then, Gary said that, oh, why don't you become the CEO, so that, we want somebody to run the organization. And that's how I became the CEO of OpenCV. And yeah, it continued.
Nice.
And fame and fortune followed.
I should not. Yeah. That's totally true. So this explains why your Twitter handle is LearnOpenCV, and you can still go to learnopencv.com and get this amazing image.
There's a funny story about it. So LearnOpenCV, I picked that name after making sure that there was no trademark, right? So I said, okay, if there is no trademark, I can use it. And the first thing I did after becoming the CEO, I filed for the trademark for OpenCV, almost like shooting myself on the foot. But fortunately,
right away.
But fortunately, we have, we did it the right way. We have a licensing arrangement between OpenCV and Big Vision that allows Big Vision to use the Learn OpenCV name as long as we are doing the courses for OpenCV.
Right? Yeah, I wonder what those negotiations were like. It must have been tough. I hear the CEO is a real hard ass.
No, so I had to negotiate with Gary. Not, I cannot wear both hats on both sides. Yeah.
Well, I mean, you only have the one hat, so.
That's right.
Really, only one? Do you have several similar or just one hat?
I have 3 which look exactly like this.
Are they Brixton?
No, these are not even branded. These are like pretty, inexpensive hats from Amazon. And that's the reason I got 3 of those, because I don't know if the company goes out of business or something.
You got to do it that way. Phil, you're in the Bay Area. You're not a Gorin Brothers person?
Program, I used to walk by their shop like every weekend. No, I don't own any hats that are not baseball caps at this point in my life. I have like 8 Cubs hats and 8 Giants hats, and that's about it.
Legit. I actually do have a flat cap from Gorin Brothers. I should wear it sometime. It's been a while since I had much of that aesthetic, but yeah.
You got to represent. Yeah.
It's a good hat. They do good hats. Another thing to mention here on your Twitter page is the Black Friday sale. This is over, but there's also a special Hackster Café only offer for folks who are interested in the Black Friday sale for, also speaking of classes, for OpenCV University.
Yeah, so the Black Friday sale was over yesterday, but we were trying to get this show before Black Friday so that we could give an offer. But let's just keep our promise. If you send an email to courses@opencv.org, we will be able to give you the same Black Friday deal. And now, so if you do it in the next 3 days, let's say by the end of this week, right? Let's say if you do it by Friday, we will be able to give you the same Black Friday deal. Now, OpenCV courses, these are the best courses in computer vision and AI for people who are interested in a career in computer vision, right? So these are not shallow courses. Some of our courses are small. The AI art generation course is literally a weekend course, but most of our courses are 3 months to 4 months. You have to spend an hour every day for 3 to 4 months. And we have, these are designed as master level courses, right? They start at beginners, but we teach you all the way to become an expert so that you're ready for facing a job interview in computer vision and AI, right?
Nice.
And for that, I think you need 2 courses. One is Fundamentals of Computer Vision and Image Processing. That's the foundation course in computer vision. And the other one is one of the deep learning courses. We have deep learning with TensorFlow and Keras, and deep learning with PyTorch. So, but a lot of people use our courses as reference material. And so I highly recommend that because of this Black Friday sale, etc., you should just get the computer vision and deep learning master program, which is the collection of all our courses.
Ooh.
So that is a really nice bundle for you to get everything that you need to know about computer vision and AI and really face a job interview. But we are also working on something called Career X. So what we realized was that people do not. It's one thing that you get real expertise in computer vision, but then the job interviews are slightly different, right? It requires a slightly different skill set and presentation to make sure that you crack the job interview. So we came up with this Career X program, which we are working on right now, which will help you get a job, right? And it's not a job guarantee, but we will help you with your resume, with your LinkedIn profile, with your GitHub repositories, and also do mock interviews for people who are further along, right? You have to do your work. You cannot say, oh, I bought this course and now do a mock interview. No, you'll get to do a mock interview after you have completed 2 of the courses, right? And also, we'll give you interview questions to prepare for. So those people who are really interested in a career in AI and really want to master computer vision and AI, this is the best deal for them, right? So Career X is included in the computer vision and deep learning master program. If you buy that, you will get Career X for free. And finally, we also have a 30-day, no questions asked, money back guarantee. And if you don't like it for any reason, you can get your money back. So this is like a no-brainer.
Excellent. Not only that, but there's also a free version of not a free version of OpenCV University, but if you don't have anything to invest right now, you can get started with the OpenCV Bootcamp for free. And you mentioned that this takes about a weekend to complete.
Yeah, it's a very short course. It's about 3 to 4 hours. If you dedicate, you'll get started. I don't want to oversell it. It's not something that will make you an expert, but it is something that will give you an overview. Okay, these are the various things that you can do, and look, you can do it so quickly, right? For example,
if you know a little bit of Python, it's a great place to. It won't take long, and it's a great way to get your feet wet, so to speak.
Yeah, I should do this. This is.
And we also have a bootcamp for.
You totally should do this.
Absolutely.
Yeah, if you go to on that free course tab, there are the drop down.
Oops.
Yeah, so you can see that there are 3 of those, right? Which are free, and you can sign up for any one of them and get your feet wet. And people who are not familiar with Python, but at least know some programming language, Python for Beginners is a great, again, 3-hour course, which will teach you about Python basics, but also Python, we teach it assuming that you're going to take our courses. So we teach all the libraries, scientific libraries in Python that are necessary for people who are interested in AI. For example, NumPy, Matplotlib, scikit-learn, and things like that. Yeah.
Excellent. Yeah. So I don't have a ton of Python experience. I'm all like self-taught in that realm, and so there's all these things that people are always doing, and I've tried to do Jupyter notebooks now and then, and it's just like makes my face melt because setting up a dev environment
is not great. Yeah.
It's just terrifying to me. By the way, anyone watching, if you have questions, be sure to dump them in the comments. We are watching those. Yes, here we go. To learn Python or to learn AI and have AI do your Python. This might be referring to the Python for Beginners.
I think you still have to know what the Python's doing at the end of the day.
Yeah, as with any AI, you need to be able to vet it and check out the output and see if it makes sense. Like, is it just hallucinating this? When I dump this thing into my computer, why does it not work? How do I?
With math and scientific stuff, it's
Right.
I mean,
But
if
but
you can, I definitely have used ChatGPT recently to write like a 20-line Python script because I did not feel like it.
yeah,
And it worked fine. It worked fine. But
it's also very good. Every language has its own idioms. If
Mhm.
you're coming from C++ and you go to Python, you may not use the right idioms, right? So you can write a Python code, right, to the best of your ability, and then you can ask ChatGPT, can you make it more Pythonic, right, or more?
Oh.
So it will write as if a Python programmer has written it, not a C++ programmer.
act
Who
as a good programmer.
It's so interesting that you can just tell it to do that, and it will do that where it wouldn't before. Even just stuff like knowing what modules exist and what modules are
Yeah.
useful
Oh yeah.
for the different operations you're trying to perform, and like how to install those modules.
Yeah, knowing what to call things is the hardest problem, like when you're
Right.
starting any language, just knowing the nomenclature of like how you do for
Yeah.
string formatting and whatnot.
And
Yeah.
Python is a relatively easy language to learn. And I used to say that you can learn Python in 7 days. But with ChatGPT helping you out, I think it can be much faster than that.
I think you'd
Yeah.
be better probably. It's I mean, ideally you'd have some other person kind of rubber duck in this with you, or like, they can look over your shoulder and whatnot. But
Yeah.
Or
.NET.
Archimedes looking over my shoulder. He literally is up there.
Yeah.
I'm not gonna wiggle my camera around. Look at tiny Archimedes, but yeah, he can
Aw.
store some notebooks too.
Hi Archimedes.
Yeah. So Python has become the language of scientific computing. And
Mm.
I feel that anybody who's interested in AI, any kind of AI, not just computer vision, they need to know Python, right? It's a necessity now. And fortunately, it was a scripting language, right? It's not difficult to learn, and it is worth investing a weekend to learn Python and get used to it.
Yeah,
Mm.
Python is, as the kids say, the shit. It's still my main programming language. It's what I use for all my weird little side projects like Retro
Right.
Strange TV, my 24/7 streaming public domain television channel, which you can watch at live.retrostrange.com right now or anytime, ad free. It's viewer supported.
Is that hosted on? I see it on Mastodon all the time, and I feel like
Yes.
it's
So one of the things that I wrote for Retro Strange TV is there's a
having a little trouble
series
loading here.
of bespoke Python
There we go.
scripts. Let's see if you tap what's playing right now, it'll tell you on that little
Oh.
button. Yeah.
Oh, check that out.
Yeah, Revolutionary New Triumphant Tape. So these are a bunch of old film strips, public domain sci-fi and horror movies, old cartoons that nobody has the rights to anymore, stuff like that. Lots of scientific and educational content from like the 50s and 60s about recording and tapes and film production. We've got stuff about like how to do screen printing and just all sorts of neat stuff. It's amazing for putting on in the background while you're doing other stuff. Like that's our prime demographic, I feel.
Nice.
But anyway, it does. So it posts on, if you notice there, you'll see get notified of what's playing on Mastodon. You can go to retrostrange at wrestling.social, which is my Mastodon server, and it posts what is playing as soon as it starts playing. This just all runs through OBS. I snag the what's playing info, SSH, upload it to a server, and then a Python script runs that posts what is playing. And you can
Nice.
actually, in Mastodon, one of the awesome things, you can just tap play and it'll start playing the live feed in Mastodon. It's pretty badass.
Cool. Oh yeah,
Nice.
here we go. Do you hand curate all of these things? Just dig through the
Yes,
Internet
I
Archive?
do not actually. Great question, but I do not. In fact, my partner in this, my best friend Noah, is our curator, and he hand watches, hours upon hours of things from primarily the Internet Archive. All hail the archive, and hand picks the stuff that fits, with
Right.
Retro Strange. So shout out to the curator.
Yeah.
We've
Internet
got
Archive
I
is
just
treasure.
ran stats on this actually last night, so I can tell you that Retro Strange TV, the total duration of all media on Retro Strange TV, according to my other one of my other bespoke Python scripts, is 208 hours 54 minutes. That includes 157 shorts, 150 episodes of old TV shows, 81 feature films. So yeah, check it out. It's retrostrange.com, please.
Nice. You heard him, everybody. Go to retrostrange.com for all that goodness. Right. And speaking of Mastodon, as we were just a moment ago, there's more to dig into on this blog post about OpenCV 5, which is what we're sort of kicking off with here. All these different resources, the free official OpenCV course, very cool. But yeah, there's you can follow OpenCV in all these different places. Wherever you live on the internet these days, you can find OpenCV there.
Yes, so we also just recently launched the first official OpenCV volunteer program. If you see the link a little bit higher up on the page, there is there's just a page where you can volunteer to be a OpenCV volunteer. But basically, we loop you in early to stuff that we're doing, so you can help promote it. We once a month or so we talk with the people that are volunteers. Right now I think there's 10, and so and they're in different places around the world, Latin America, Europe, etc. It's really cool. It's an interesting group. If you're interested in being one of those people that helps OpenCV do stuff, please fill out that form. It's available on the OpenCV website there on the blog post. Any further thoughts on the volunteer program, Steve?
Well, I mean, it is a new program and we are just rolling it out, but this program can become the backbone of a lot of the community activities that we do, right? And also fundraising. So we plan to use it in various ways, right? People who can help us fundraise, as well as people who can run communities for us, so that, this would be very much community supported. We have done a lot of community activities, but we have actually not used volunteers to do the work, right? There's a small group of OpenCV people who chip in, the time and money, etc. But I think with the volunteer program, we want to increase the scope. A lot of people want to volunteer, they just didn't know how. And so, so I'm very excited about this.
Awesome. We have a question from Krishna Gupta who says, can students be part of it?
Definitely.
Yeah.
Absolutely. In fact, several volunteers are in fact students. Speaking of community, another thing we just recently started having an official place for is people sending us cool OpenCV based projects. Obviously, we're going to have a ton of those from the ongoing that ends tomorrow from the Hackster competition, OpenCV AI Competition 2023. Looks like we have like about 103 submissions on there so far. I think so it looked like a pretty interesting crop. So good luck to everybody out there. But also there is a form that you can fill out, the OpenCV Cool Stuff form. This is just a form that if you have built something or see something interesting that uses OpenCV and want us to know about it, you can just fill out this form and it'll send it to us. These projects will be featured in OpenCV Community Fridays, which is every Friday we'll be doing a blog post about a couple of cool projects we saw this week from OpenCV. It'll be a kind of partner type of thing with our weekly newsletter, which sends on Tuesday and will in fact send out a little bit after this show. So yeah, please send us your cool OpenCV stuff, and we'd love to feature it on our blog and eventually in the newsletter and stuff.
Right. Yeah.
And if anybody appreciates my Steely Dan jokes in this form, please do not let me know. Don't encourage me.
So actually, so a lot of people don't know that OpenCV is very widely used. So not only in the developer community, it is part of almost any product that uses images or videos. OpenCV is part of it. So
estimated, 89% of embedded projects as well? Is that what it was?
Dang.
So, for example, in 2005, there was a DARPA grant challenge. There was this, Stanley was a vehicle that was, right, exactly. It basically was the first vehicle to complete the DARPA grant challenge, 132 miles in the Mojave Desert. Wow. Without any assistance from humans, right? Autonomously. And Stanley was powered by OpenCV. And, this was an underdog. The team from CMU was supposed to win the DARPA Grand Challenge. They had 2 submissions, but Stanley from Stanford, which was using OpenCV, actually won the DARPA Grand Challenge. And this was in 2005. Even,
Wow.
and OpenCV has grown substantially over that time. It's downloaded about 10 million times a month. And that's just the Python version.
Yeah.
Right. So the C++ version, we don't have the numbers, but it is downloaded quite a bit. And if you look at YouTube, right? YouTube, the YouTube app, it uses it. You can go and look at the credits. You can look at the Snap app that uses it. So all these major applications, they use OpenCV, but we don't charge. It is free for commercial use, and we don't charge for any of this usage, which brings us to what is this campaign about free OpenCV, right? So as I was mentioning before that, our funding, because of right there.
If you go to the YouTube app and go to About and Open Source Licenses, you'll see OpenCV right there.
Ha! So cool.
It would be great if they gave us more money.
Yep.
So so free OpenCV, the campaign, basically, what we're saying is that it's not difficult for us to raise money for OpenCV because it's used widely. All we have to do is have a commercial license for OpenCV 5. Sorry.
This has been the debate, basically, within OpenCV.
Yeah.
Like, how can we do it? Yeah, somebody become backer number 500 so I can give you a handmade T-shirt by my brother Charles.
Huh.
Yes, so that's the challenge, that we can easily make OpenCV 5 work if you have a commercial license, but we want to keep it free, even for commercial use. And that's what this campaign is about.
And they do have a list here of what's coming in OpenCV 5, but if you're just joining us or watching the recording, feel free to scroll back, and Satya gave a much more in-depth overview of what exactly is coming in OpenCV 5. And again, all these links that you're seeing, all these different tabs that we're going through here, just check in the description below for those links, the newsletter. We'll dump that in there. Although I think you're supposed to email Phil if you're trying to angle for a couple of these.
Right.
These freebies. And of course, courses at OpenCV for that Black Friday deal.
Right.
Check out
Speaking
all these
of Steely Dan, that's one of my favorite Steely Dan songs, Black Friday.
Ah, I didn't know that was a thing. Okay, so we heard about, Satya, how you got into OpenCV. So for a little bit of a human angle, Phil, how did you get into the organization here?
Yeah, so I have been in the computer vision field for like 15 years, something like that, 10 years. The time really blurs together. But I started it with a company called Occipital. We made a 3D sensor for the iPad called Structure Sensor, which was a Kickstarter campaign back in like 2007, I think, something like that. And it did really well. We raised $1.3 million. We staffed up. I was like a super early employee there. I was like employee number 8 or something. Anyway, I was there for about 7 years. We got laid off at the beginning of the pandemic, kind of in not the best way. And was, living on fun employment and the that sweet COVID stipend we got here in California. And then happened to run into Brandon, the founder, may he rest in peace, the founder of Luxonis, through my friend and one of the co-founders of Occipital, Vikas Reddy. And he was doing this campaign for what would become OakD. But before that, we did a little campaign for what we called Mega AI, which became Oak One, which was on what was that other
crowd something.
Crowd Supply.
Yeah,
it was on Crowd Supply, and that went fine. And then we decided to do this. Basically, I ran the campaign and did all the graphics, video, voiceover, like I do for OpenCV still. And the OpenCV AI campaign went super well. And then we we raised we were like $500,000 more than Occipital did. I think I'm never going to let Jeff and Vikas forget that. But
we raised $1.35 million.
And so it went super well. And then basically after that, I think a couple months later, I just started working directly with OpenCV.
Awesome.
And you did another campaign, which was also above $1 million.
Yeah, that's right. It's two for me, $2 million campaigns that I have run. Hopefully, smash that donate button. Don't turn me into a liar here, folks. I need 3.
Come on, folks.
That third ring.
Yeah, so that's the funny part, right? When we did campaigns for products like OpenCV courses,
immediately funded,
$1 million, right? And these 2 campaigns, and we have done other Kickstarter campaigns, and we never had a problem, right? We have always done very well. I think the worst campaign we have done is $200,000 or so, right?
Yeah.
And here we are with OpenCV, free product, right? That's a good thing.
Yeah, we're getting some stickers. I don't know if based on the name, perhaps you are China based. We are getting some stickers for the OpenCV China team. So send me an email. We'll see if we can get you something.
Oh, nice.
So also, to briefly go back to my history in computer vision, I actually have a piece of hardware here.
Yes.
I mean, I guess you would consider it a piece of failed hardware. It led to a lot of strife within the company. I'll leave the project managers to discuss that at some point. Shout out to Jacob if he's watching. But so what I have here is a thing that I worked on with Occipital. It was an early VR headset that used, or augmented reality headset that used the iPhone as the screen and compute. I actually designed the logo for this with my friend Jesse. Hi, Jesse.
Oh, that's a good logo.
Let me pop this open real quick.
Is this the bridge?
Yeah.
Occipital bridge?
This is the Occipital Bridge headset.
Ooh.
Yeah.
Wow, look at that.
So it was a really cool project and like fun to work on. Like, we had the different focal, they weren't adjustable. You popped in different lenses in there. Got a nice, ratchet bicycle type strap, like super, super high quality. I feel the biggest pain was these camera alignments. Like every time Apple brings out a new phone, it changes by millimeters and it threw everything off. But anyway, that's the Bridge headset. It's one of my favorite things I got to work on. But it did not sell very many, unfortunately. I know that what's his name? The creator of Adventure Time bought one. I met him at XOXO Fest one year, and was talking about the headset. I think to like maybe I was talking to Cable from Panic, and then when I got back to the office, I saw an order come in from his production company, which I was like, the hard sell worked. Yeah. I mean, they didn't use it for anything, so whatever. But Jacob Irvin was the PM on that. He now is leading the Mozilla Hubs team. So they've been doing a lot of really interesting stuff. The platform has gotten pretty good. I haven't checked it out in like over a year, but definitely check it out if you get the chance. We're heading up on time, so I want to do another quick shout out, if I can, to former Occipital coworkers. Alex, you probably saw this. It was on Hackster, the Pico Gus. You see this? The Gravis ultrasound. I'll drop the link here. My friend Ian Scott, old coworker from the web team at Occipital, now elsewhere, but he created this thing that's basically an ISA card, like a modern ISA card. Yeah. It's amazing. If you're one of those people that, played computer games in the 90s, like this will just make your heart sing. It's wonderful. Unfortunately, it is hella sold out right now. But there is a wait list. There is a wait list. Check it out. I actually I bought a little MIDI. I have a Roland sound canvas I bought from Ian. He's got a bunch of really cool old game audio stuff. Shout out to Ian.
So much good retro audio stuff coming out at the
Absolutely.
moment. I know that chiptunes have been a thing for a while, but I still love them.
Oh yeah, for sure. I mean, there's just the instrumentation has a certain quality that is hard to replicate.
So there's like two things I'd love to cover really quickly. Actually, one composite thing. We were going to talk about really quickly. Just a couple of events that happened recently, and possibly direct people to where they can learn more about these. So recently there was ROSCON and PX4 Dev Summit, and I'd love to hear a little bit about y'all's involvement in these and what we can learn about these.
Yeah, first of all, shout out to Ramon and Kat.
Yeah.
Thank you both. You're each individually the best.
Ramon Roche and Kat Scott.
That's right, Catherine Scott and Ramon Roche.
Yeah.
The Kat is the community is with Ross, and Ramon is PX4 for those who don't know. Yeah, it was in New Orleans. It was super awesome. I got there for the last day of ROSCON, so I wasn't there. I think Satya missed ROSCON as well. But there were a couple of our friends were there, and so we got to see them and had dinner. It was really nice. ROSCON always is in the coolest venues and places. Like as soon as I left New Orleans, I was looking for a reason to go back. Like it's a super awesome city. Cannot recommend ROSCON enough. If anybody out there is thinking about going next year, you absolutely should. Satya, thoughts on ROSCON specifically, I guess?
I mean, I feel that we have this open source party going between ROSCON, PX4, and OpenCV, and we are all supporting each other. So, of course, Ross has become the de facto, platform for building robotics applications, and PX4 is the de facto platform for drones now, right? So, I really believe what these guys are doing, and we are basically joining hands with them to promote each other as well as nurture the community together.
Awesome.
Yeah, we've been calling it the Trinity, the Triforce of open source. That we use the diamond cutter symbol now. This is our thing. Ross PX4 OpenCV. It was an amazing spot. Super well located in the city. Like we weren't it wasn't far to get to the cool places.
And you can click on this link at the top. It's kind of a hidden link. If you want to see the recordings from ROSCON 2023, just click on this and scroll down, and you will see little watch icons at the corner of the scheduled blocks, and you can go check
Yes, and in fact, if people are interested at how this year's ROSCON went, our guest this week on our show, OpenCV Live, where I am the co-host with the co-most, the second banana who is second to none. I'm also your plus one and only. Our guest will be Kat Scott from Ross.
Oh yeah,
we'll be talking about all of the cool stuff that happened at ROSCON this year. So I'm looking forward to that as well. We'll see if we'll fit some PX4 stuff in there too.
And she's been on the show before, for sure.
Yeah, several times. Going way back. This will be episode 117 of OpenCV Live, if memory serves. And it does sometimes serve, just not often.
So yeah, we had ROSCON. Let's do a really quick PX4. So they're sort of the same. They're two different events, but they happen kind of in the same place, kind of at the same time. I think
similar audiences. Like the PX4 audience is probably largely a subset of the Ross audience. Like. The developers, the Ross or the PX4 Developer Summit was awesome. It was super fun. Unfortunately I got to see 0 of the talks live, but I did look up some of them later. You can look on their YouTube channel for a recap video that is really well put together. Huge shout out to Mike and everybody at the Linux Foundation events team. They just super on point with all of their production stuff. As a guy that does video all the time, like I was really, really impressed with the way they all the footage they got and the way that everything just went off more or less without a hitch. So huge shout out to those folks.
Very nice.
Big also huge shout out to Parasol, an amazing neighborhood bar in New Orleans that has Jepson's Malort. Amazingly. Shout out to all my fellow Malort drinkers out there. We also shout out to the Saint. Shout out to the Saint, one of the best bars I've ever been to, I think. And also shout out to my mamacita. I will see you soon.
Oh,
Satya, thoughts about PX4?
Yeah, it was a great event. I mean, again, I did not watch most of the talks live, but I've seen a sample of the talks. They are all great, especially for people who are interested in drones. These are very, very important talks. And of course, if you're planning to go to ROS, it's a no-brainer to also go check out PX4 Dev Summit.
Yeah,
They co-organize it.
nice.
Yeah, totally agree. Totally agree.
Sweet. So we're about at an hour here, and we have one question in the chat left to go. I figure we can cover that one really quick, and then we'll wrap up with a quick review of a bunch of the different links and stuff that we looked at, where you can follow up, how you can get in on those sweet, sweet giveaways, and how you can support OpenCV 5 remaining free and open for everybody, not just for people who can pay for it. So
Right.
quickly, first, Amit asks, I'm new to OpenCV, just curious to know if there are any AR or VR applications of CV. Oh my goodness.
Right.
Indeed.
Well,
Indeed,
so
there are.
it's all intertwined, AR and VR. It's just especially the augmented reality part. Virtual reality, okay, you can say that, okay, it's all a made up, synthetic world. But whenever you do augmented reality, then you need to know a lot of computer vision on OpenCV. Just starting with camera calibration, you want to estimate the ground plane. If you want to put something on the ground in an augmented reality application, you need to estimate the ground plane and those things. And all of those things are based on computer vision algorithms that are implemented in OpenCV. Now, if you know about this sphere in Vegas that has come up, a big sphere. So they project very large, videos onto that dome.
It's like the Eye of Sauron, but kooky.
So the videos, those videos, they also require computer vision to stitch together, right? Because a lot of those videos are taken using different viewpoints whenever they are showing things like an elephant or something like that, right? In the sphere. Those things are deeply, deeply intertwined with computer vision. You need camera calibration, you need good stitching algorithms and things like that. So yeah, I mean, AR especially, you need deep expertise in computer vision to pull off an AR application.
And totally unimportant side note, as a wizard, I do love to ponder orbs. I got to have my orb pondering time, but that thing is not an orb. It's not even a sphere. It is like 3/4 of a sphere. False advertising.
So sorry about that.
It is no, that's what they call it. It is an affront to all of wizardry, and I will be filing a formal appeal with the board.
Why not? Yeah, so just to finish that thought about AR and VR in OpenCV. So, I mean, the very basic VR application, you can think about is image stitching, right? And that is basically 4 lines of code in OpenCV, right? Also, other applications like facial filters that people apply. For that, you need to estimate, the facial landmarks before you can apply makeup or whatever you want to do, right? So for those filters also, you use computer vision, and OpenCV has implementation of facial landmark detection as well.
And pretty dang good ones, in fact.
And same thing with human pose estimation, right? For some applications, you may want to estimate the pose of humans, and that's also implemented in OpenCV.
That's right.
Perfect. Xiaoshu, our friend from, it turns out, Belgium at the moment, is doing a cool project of...
hey, no swearing.
Ah!
Little Hitchhiker's Guide to the Galaxy joke for y'all.
Oh, Belgium. Oh, boy. So, okay. So, yeah. So, without further nonsense from you guys, we do have about 36 minutes, 36 hours-ish. Wait, it says 62 hours. I'm wrong here. You've got until
two days.
tomorrow evening. Oh, that's what's wrong with me. I'm a day off in my brain. Good morning. Okay, so anyway, so
Good morning.
on this Thursday at 11:59 Pacific time, nearly midnight, you've got 61 hours left to submit your submissions for the OpenCV AI Competition 2023. There's tons of cool stuff going on here. We've got the challenge video. We've got all these different ideas you can take off from those examples we looked at earlier that was super cool. There's a couple of people, as Phil mentioned, that people have dropped in the discussion, dropping their links to their different YouTube videos.
Yeah, go see what you're up against if you're participating.
Yeah, we will notice if someone submits later but has a similar idea. So obviously doing your own thing, but lots of cool stuff coming up, and you can submit there. Be sure to send in some cool OpenCV projects. You can become a cool person in the OpenCV world doing that way. Keep OpenCV free. #free OpenCV. Make sure to contribute. There's lots of different ways you can get involved. You can become a volunteer. You can get your organization involved. You can donate through the Indiegogo. You can sponsor on GitHub. All these different options. Go check out OpenCV University. You can email in for that Black Friday deal. Do the scroll back to figure that out. You got 3 days.
Courses at opencv.org.
Courses at opencv.org for that 3-day discount window of getting that Black Friday deal on some of these courses. You can also do the free bootcamp courses. You can also just check out the website. Follow them on YouTube at OpenCV Official, new handle there, and on LinkedIn. There's also a Threads account. There's a Mastodon account. There's a Twitter. We've also got Satya and Phil on Twitter there. Go check out these events.
I'm definitely more active on Mastodon lately. So check out my Mastodon in favor of Twitter for a while anyway.
And go check out RetroStrange on Mastodon.
Yes, please check out RetroStrange, my free community-supported 24/7 streaming platform. We also have Old Time Radio on there if you're into old time radio science fiction stories. If you go to retrostrange.com, there's an audio section as well where it's constantly streaming old time radio sci-fi stuff.
Rad.
It's called Lo-Fi Sci-Fi.
Love that. There's also this beta for Career X. And did I miss anything? We got the GitHub here where you can go sponsor. Hit that little heart button. Yeah. So good.
Well, we want to thank Hackster for being a silver member and supporting OpenCV. That's really awesome.
Huge shout out to Alex and of course Ginger and Jessica.
Yeah, I cannot claim credit for being the mastermind behind that. I don't hold the purse strings, but I'm so happy that we're doing that. Yeah.
Me too.
Thank y'all for doing the cool stuff that you do. Thank you for joining us today. Thank you to everybody who's chimed in the comments and stuff. I can only assume that y'all were riveted because we did eventually get some participation, some great questions from y'all.
Yes.
Thank you for joining. And be sure to hit up Phil for those stickers. The first 5 people, what now? To email?
First 5 people to email Phil at opencv.org and ask for a sticker will get a sticker.
Nice.
Thank you, guys. And, I don't always talk like Don Corleone.
Just when he's trying to intimidate. This is Satya's negotiation voice. It's a nice computer vision library you have here. It would be a shame if something should happen to it.
That's great.
Oh, well, this has been great. Come back on anytime you have something cool to talk about. Everybody stay tuned. We got lots of cool stuff as we round out the year here. Go check out the OpenCV live weekly webinar and hack on.
Thursdays, 9 a.m.
Thank you.
Thursdays at 9 a.m. Thank you, everybody.
Adios.